I'm Jennifer Runyon here at Solar Power International 2010. My guest right now is John Worren, who is an analyst with ClearSkys Advisors in Ontario. Welcome.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So, John, can you give us first an update on the Ontario market? We all know it's growing strong, so...
Sure. The Ontario feed-in tariff was launched roughly about a year ago now, and it's been very positively received in the marketplace. The Ontario Power Authority that manages the program have received over 20,000 applications. Mm-hmm. A large part of that is from the microfit stream, which is targeting the residential, the small businesses, and the farmers. But even for large-scale systems, they have over 3,000 applications. So in total, there's market applications of about 15.5 gigawatts. That includes all sorts of renewables, not just solar.
Right. 15.5 gigawatts.
Yeah.
And do you expect all that to be installed?
No. Currently, I think the amount that has been of contracts that have been issued are for somewhere in the region of 3 gigawatts. In addition to that, there's about 1,600 gigawatts that have been contracted separately. So we're talking about 4.5 to 5 gigawatts of renewable energy at this point in time.
Still quite a good number.
It's a good number, absolutely.
Yeah. John, ClearSkys Advisors recently issued a report that mentioned there would be some stumbling blocks ahead for the solar industry in particular. Can you explain what some of those are?
Sure. As any new program, there are bound to be some bottlenecks, and where we see the main challenges are in three different areas. Short term, we see that there's going to be supply constraints in the market for solar.
Okay.
In the midterm, we think there's some political uncertainty. Longer term, there's grid access, particularly with transmission constraints that might be hampering the volume of projects that can be connected.
Okay, so when you talk about the supply chain constraints, you're talking about the domestic content requirement.
That's correct. So the feed-in tariff was essentially launched with a domestic content requirement. So for projects that want to participate, they have to meet the minimum level of domestic content. And when you're talking about a province like Ontario that a year ago didn't have more than 6 megawatts of capacity on the solar side, there's a whole supply chain that needs to be put in place in order to meet all that demand.
And I hear announcements all the time of new manufacturing plants opening up in Ontario. Is it happening fast enough to meet the domestic content?
They are happening, and as you say, there are a lot of announcements. We don't think that all of those announcements are going to materialize, but only yesterday there was a new announcement of and ribbon-cutting ceremony with a Spanish panel manufacturer coming to Ontario and wanting to hire 175 people for their shop floor. So there are a lot of it is happening at the moment, but there's still ways to go in order to meet all the project demand.
Right, because that is a lot of projects.
Yeah.
So you mentioned hiring. What is the job situation in Ontario? Has the clean energy market created the jobs that they thought it would?
It certainly has created jobs. The bulk of the jobs are still to be created because it happens when you start actually building the project. So right now we're in sort of a phase of the market where the project developers are looking for their renewable energy approvals and getting all the assessments done to get grid connected and so forth. So the real build-out hasn't started yet. But our numbers, when we look at the job creation, we actually think that Ontario is going to get more jobs than the government originally planned for. So I think that's very good news for people in Ontario.
That is good news. And what's the time frame for those jobs to really start ramping up quickly?
Well, we as of next year, early next year, we'll see a big ramp up. There'll be a lot more building activity, and 2011 is going to be a big year for the solar industry in Ontario.
All right. Well, great. We'll keep our eyes on Ontario for 2011 and beyond.
Please do.
All right. Thanks so much, John.
Thank you.